All right, welcome to the balance workout for your longevity. So this workout is a home version. You can do this in the gym, but this is also if you're in a space where it doesn't have a lot of equipment, or if you're working this from home, you can do this. So here's the board here that we're going to be doing, and we'll also kind of give you some of the names of these later. The first one we're going to do, I call it the Micheal Jackson lean, and for those old enough, you might understand what that means. What you're going to do is you're going to get, depending on if you have a fall risk of yourself, if your balance is not that great, you want to be close to something that you have a little stability to fall back onto if you need to. But you're going to get nice and tall, and you're going to lean forward as far as you can and lean back as far as you can while keeping your shoulders over your hips. So you're not going to do that. You're not doing that. What you're trying to do is lean from the ankle and then lean from the ankle just back and forth. And you're rocking and doing about 10 of those. And you're keeping your ankles almost at 90 degrees. A lot of people who've done my classes know the heel to toe raises is not quite like that. Is legitimately you're trying to lean as far forward as you can. You're going to feel your toes kind of grip. And then you're going to lean back on your heels, and you're going to use your core to make sure that you don't go too far back. And you're just working on that range over time. Okay, about 10 of those. Then the next thing we're going to do is walking knee pulls. So even if you have a stretch, or you can just do it in one spot, pulling the knee up and alternating. You can either make it dynamic and walk down your hallway as you do it. You're trying to maintain good posture as you do this, and you're trying to go in a straight line. Or if you stay in place, you're trying to stay in that same place without leaning to one side too much and back and forth. Do that for about 30 to 45 seconds. And then the next one we're going to do is you're going to find a space on the floor. You're going to do a 4-way touch on each leg. We're going to do about 5 rounds for each leg. So you're going to bring your right leg up. You're going to lightly tap as far forward as you can. And notice how I'm very lightly tapping. It's not putting your foot down like that. It's not transferring any weight. It's boom and then behind. So those are the 4 touches. Forward, side, boom. Turn on your favorite music. And you can have a little rhythm to it if you really got it down. After you get about 5 rounds where you do it with your right foot, then you're going to get ready to do the same thing on the other side. You can bring your foot to the middle if you need to kind of regain balance. If you can do the harder level, which is keeping that foot always off the ground only when you lightly tap each spot. You can kind of start to really challenge yourself, kind of squat into it, still very lightly touching the ground, but getting more range. Or you can be right here. Just kind of, you want this to be a challenge, but you still want to be in control. Okay, then the next one is just simple standing. We're going to be a little bit of progression. So if you can do this one, then you can do the next one. So you're going to stand right here, try and lift the leg, try to hold it for about 30 seconds. Posture tall, maintaining the balance. You're feeling your foot kind of work. You're engaging your core. Your eyes are kind of focused on one spot. And as you're doing this, you might notice when you switch legs, there might be one side I call is the sober side, one side is the drunk side. So spend a little bit more time on that side that's a little bit more difficult, because it will help develop an even level of balance. And if you have 2 different sides that are drastically different, that can also affect your balance tremendously. So once again, try to hold this for about 30 seconds. If you can, once you get it for 30 seconds, that's good. You've kind of accomplished the goal. But if you want to go to up to a minute, you can totally do that. Then the next thing is to do is have both feet on the ground, nice and relaxed, nice and tall. And it's just try to close your eyes for about 30 seconds. And kind of feel how your feet feel on the ground. Do you sway at all? Are you in pretty good control of just like this portion? Some people kind of get a little bit of a vertigo situation when they close their eyes versus when they're open, even. So that's why starting with just both feet on the ground, feeling that first is important. And then it's also important to do this potentially by the wall or by something where you have some stability, and then you're going to lift your right leg if you can control it, and you're going to close your eye, and you're going to try to maintain your balance for the same idea for about 30 seconds. And if you don't get to 30 seconds, it's okay. Continue to try for about a minute, seeing if you can get as long as you can. And then over time, you can try to see if you can lengthen that time, okay? And try to feel which side feels a little bit more difficult. So for me, I can tell my right foot, I have a little bit more I'm going to have to work on. But just kind of play with it, have fun with it. Once you start to kind of get it, you can kind of move around a little bit and see if you can make it a little bit more challenging. Okay, and then the last exercise we have in this circuit for the home version is alternating plank touch, which is right up here. You're in a plank. You're going to reach right arm, left leg, which is going to be kind of tough, and you're going to touch and alternate. And then what you can do is bring your feet in closer. It makes it a little bit harder. Bring your hands in a little bit tighter, which will make it a little bit tougher. You're going to do about 5 or so of those on each side. And you're going to repeat this circuit again, and you're going to come back to the Micheal Jackson leans and start the whole series over again.